My name is Jeff Pollock. I'm 30 years old. I grew up in Sacramento, California, with Cashel Barnett, as a matter of fact. Left California when I was 22, so 8 years ago now. Then spent about 5 years in the Army, and then have spent the last 3 years here in Denver, Colorado.
My name is Cashel Barnett. I'm 29 years old, from Sacramento, California. I grew up with Jeff there. We've known each other since we were 8. I did a reality TV show last year, which was a very interesting experience. Musician, played drums, been modeling for a number of years, majored in English, Fordham University, lived in New York City, lived in Los Angeles, slept on couches for a long time, slept in my car for a while, liked to surf, liked to skate, liked to snowboard, and never really rode motorcycles before.
I got into motorcycles because I really wanted to go fast, but I could not afford a fast car. So I saved up money while I was in the Army, bought a sport bike, almost died a bunch of times. Started riding on the track and got a little bit better. Bought a bunch more bikes, got into road racing, done that now for 6 years. Crashed a few of the bikes, got one bike stolen, traded in a bunch, now I have 5 total. I guess I just started riding and then never really stopped since then.
Jeff and I have known each other since we were 8. We grew up on the swim team. That's how we met. You know, the details are vague, but I remember just one day in class, we were, dicking around in the back, not paying attention, and writing a bucket list together. And the number one on that made the list, number one was we wanted to ride motorcycles to where land ran out in South America, and write a book about it. We were probably 16, 17.
We wanted to ride from Alaska to Ushuaia, which is basically the southern tip of South America and Argentina. But that trip is significantly more expensive. Takes a lot longer and requires a lot more logistics to set up. But we decided that doing probably the longest dirt bike trail in the United States would be a good way to prepare.
Over the years, as life has gone on and we've got older and, shit's happened and life and all that, we've just always, whenever we do check in, we would talk very infrequently. Whenever we did talk though, we'd be like, hey, remember, we gotta do that trip. I'm not letting you off the hook, you're not letting me off the hook, kind of thing.
I was talking to Cashel about it one day and he's like, we're doing it. We're doing it this year, it's happening. And so I went out and bought a bike for it, and then bought all the maps for it, and the roll charts, and the roll chart holder, and tires, and gear, and all this other stuff. And then it kind of dawned on me 2 months ago, it's wait, we are actually doing this. This is no longer in the, hey, we're talking about it, this would be super fun to do. It's okay, cool, we got 4 months until we have to be completely ready to go, which is now down to 3.5 months to be completely ready to go, which is great. We have plenty of time, I think.
Well, Jeff turned 30. I'm about to turn 30. And we thought, all right, well, we're not getting any younger, so we better fucking do this.
My biggest fear is mechanical failure. There's a lot of places on the trail where a major breakdown means a big problem. Not necessarily life-threatening anywhere on this particular trail, but a huge logistical nightmare. And fortunately, both the bikes we have, parts are relatively available, but there's not something that would be stocked in an AutoZone. And so, especially since on my bike, I've done pretty much all of the work. It was completely apart in my garage last week. I hope I did everything right, but there's never a guarantee. Yeah, definitely a major mechanical failure on the motorcycle would be the biggest one for me.
The part I'm worried about is breaking down. That's what I'm really worried about. Jeff's a really good mechanic. He'll tell you that he's not, but he can fix a lot of shit. He and his dad have been wrenching on things forever. He can weld shit. He can just make shit happen. He's a little MacGyver. I am not.
things worth doing are often pretty tough to do, and that's what makes them cool. Like, you get to have this unique experience that you can't really go out and replicate. Like, if you don't ride a motorcycle, you can't just decide to buy one and go do this tomorrow. You're not prepared, and you can't be prepared immediately. And by the time that you are, the route itself has probably changed. Like, the cool thing about the TransAmerica Trail is that it doesn't stay the same from year to year. So I always have to have current maps of it. And that's why I have 350 paper maps in my house right now, kind of all over the wall like a crazy conspiracy theorist. It's a non-duplicatable adventure. It just sounds like a hell of a good time.
We're gonna find some truth out there, There's self-discovery in every adventure, especially, something that's long like this. There's romance out in the backcountry roads of the country in places that you've never seen, that most people don't see. I'm not going out there to change or abandon problems or anything like that. I'm just going out there because life's short, to my knowledge and my belief system. We only get this one shot. There's only one time that we get to be here and experience this world. So I think we owe it to ourselves that we've thought this idea up, and we keep pushing each other to follow through on it, so we're gonna follow through on it.
I can't think of really any better way to spend a summer. I like riding motorcycles, I like getting off the beaten path, and you combine the two, it's a perfect trip.